Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has demonstrated the country's new drone systems, including TOLOKA underwater drones to world leaders and international organizations at the Support Ukraine summit held in capital Kiev. Other domestically made products in the field of drones, missile drones, electronic warfare and electronic intelligence systems have also been showcased during the summit that brought together Ukraine's Western partners to capital Kiev for the commemoration of the third anniversary of Russia's full-fledged invasion of the country. Posting on his Telegram account on Tuesday, Zelensky wrote that reconnaissance UAVs, fiber-optic FPV drones, ground robotic platforms, interceptor drones, electronic warfare and reconnaissance systems, communication systems, river drones, and missile drones operate on Ukraine's front lines. The Ukrainian leader thanked Western partners for investing in Ukraine's defense production, adding that this year we will make even more of all types of drones. It should be noted that designed to enhance Ukraine's capabilities in maritime operations, TOLOKA underwater drone family includes 3 variants: TLK-150, 2.5-meter hull, range up to 100 kilometers, electric propulsion, payload capacity of 20 to 50 kilograms, TLK-400, 4-6-meter hull, range up to 1,200 kilometers, payload capacity up to 500 kilograms, TLK-1000, 4-12-meter hull, range up to 2,000 kilometers, payload capacity up to 5,000 kilograms. Canada will soon transfer $5 billion Canadian dollars or $3.52 billion in military equipment to Ukraine, as well as profits from frozen Russian assets. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said this during his visit to Kiev. "We will send 25 LAV-2 infantry fighting vehicles, 2 combat support armored vehicles, a landing system for F-16 fighters, 4 F-16 aerial training aircraft, as well as millions of rounds of ammunition, military equipment and medical supplies, where Ukrainian servicemen have been trained in Germany," he noted. He added that Canada will also provide grants to support energy security. Previously, Spain Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez announced that Spain will provide Ukraine with a new aid package worth €1 billion. Ukraine must achieve a just and lasting peace. "I have just announced in Kiev that Spain will send a new military aid package worth €1 billion to the Ukrainian people," Sanchez wrote on his X account. Estonia delivers a new military aid package to Ukraine, including artillery ammunition and food kits for Ukrainian soldiers. Estonian Prime Minister Kristen Michal announced this on social media platform X. To strengthen Ukraine's position and increase pressure on Russia, Estonia is sending 10,000 rounds of artillery ammunition and 750,000 food packages for Ukrainian fighters, Michal wrote. He added that, at the earliest opportunity, the aid package would be supplemented with defense industry products worth over €100 million. "It is up to Ukraine to decide its future. You can always count on Estonia's support," Michal assured. The President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, has pledged to transfer a new €3.5 billion aid tranche to Ukraine in March. EU leader made this statement during her speech in Kiev. "Europe is here to strengthen Ukraine in critical times. I can announce that a new €3.5 billion aid tranche will arrive in Ukraine in March," she emphasized. During his discussion with the President of Ukraine, President Rinkevičs reaffirmed Latvia's long-term support for Ukraine. Latvia is allocating 0.25% of its GDP to military aid for Ukraine. The Baltic states and Nordic countries have jointly committed to increasing military assistance to Ukraine by providing training and equipment for a brigade-sized unit to strengthen the capacity of Ukraine's armed forces, emphasized E. Rinkovic. It should be noted that the Prime Ministers of Canada, Estonia and Spain, Justin Trudeau, Christian Michael and Pedro Sanchez, the Presidents of Lithuania and Latvia, Gitanas Nausėda and Edgars Rinkovic, as well as the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, and the representative of the Council of Europe, Antonio Costa, are visiting Kiev. Western leaders have reiterated support for Ukraine on the third anniversary of the country's war with Russia and amid concerns over U.S. foreign policy shift following Donald Trump anti-Zelenskiy statements. More than a dozen Western leaders were in Kiev to attend the Support Ukraine forum held on Monday to mark the anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion that started exactly 3 years ago. Keir Starmer, Justin Trudeau and Ursula von der Leyen were among leaders who spoke in Kiev. World security is at stake in talks over how the war ends, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen warned. The autocrats around the world are watching very carefully whether there's any impunity if you violate international borders or invade your neighbor, or if there is true deterrence, she told a conference in Kiev. The guests had similar messages. Ukraine and its European partners must be consulted in any peace negotiations, Putin's ambitions must be thwarted, and Europe must take on more of the burden for its own defense. Earlier, Zelenskiy told Ukrainians he was proud of their heroism amid the war. The shift in Washington's policy over Ukraine has set off alarm bells in Europe, where governments fear being sidelined by the US in efforts to secure a peace deal and are mulling how they might pick up the slack of any cut in US aid for Ukraine. The changes have also placed strain on transatlantic relations. The fourth year of fighting could be pivotal, as Trump uses his return to office last month to press for a peace deal. But Ukrainian and European officials have been rattled by his cordial approach to Russian President Vladimir Putin and his tough words for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Canadian lawmaker Charlie Angus answered to prosecution of USA President about Volodymyr Zelensky. He delivered a blunt message to Donald Trump. He told, to attack a leader like Zelensky, who has more moral fiber in his little toe than Donald Trump has in his entire body and his entire cabinet, is outrageous. Angus said in an interview with Ben Mysilas of the Midas Touch network that Volodymyr Zelensky has shown the world what democracy means. Donald Trump is a convicted felon and a sexual pervert. Those two men shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence. Angus, who slammed Trump's love for gangster Russian President Vladimir Putin, later referred to what an unnamed Eastern European colleague told him in response to Trump calling for a regime change in Ukraine. She said to me, "The Ukrainian people survived the Holodomor. The Ukrainian people survived Stalin. The Ukrainian people survived Chernobyl. They've survived Putin. Do you think that Donald Trump is going to break the Ukrainian people?" recalled Angus. "So Donald, just put a sock in it for now." He continued by warning that Trump is going to do enormous damage to democracy, impacting both US allies and the rest of the world as he tries to help his criminal buddy Putin. And the world will be forced, now, to treat America the way we treat Putin, and we are going to all have to pick up our game dramatically to defend democracy, whether it's in Ukraine or whether it's in our own countries, said Angus.